What's going on, people? How you doing? TK, Mr. Finance, coming at you. Today I just want to talk to you guys about the transitionary period that we're in relation to the economy. Now, a lot of people don't really understand, don't care, don't really see any changes because everyone's been lulled to sleep and they feel like everything's good. As long as I can still eat, everything's good. And the only thing I've been saying to you for the past 3 years is that you should not put all your eggs in one basket. Instead of solely relying on paper as a means to exchange, you should also have alternative forms of currency that give you a choice and give you the freedom to dip into a backup plan in the event that paper doesn't work out for you. So I don't know why that's so hard to do and why people refuse to even accept that as an alternative or as a personal choice. But that's the only thing that I've really said, is that everyone has paper. But if you want to survive the economic change and hardships that are coming around the corner, you should have more than just paper. You should have cryptocurrency in a private wallet. You should have small denominated gold and silver in a private vault, so that in the event that paper burns, you have other asset classes that you can still use as a means to exchange in order to eat. That's the only thing I've said, and people have ignored me, dismissed me, argued the fact. But honestly, the only person that is affected by not having a choice outside of paper is you. So arguing that paper is God and choosing not to have other forms of exchange beyond paper just affects you when and if paper crash and burns. Now, there's a lot of factors within today's economic world that suggest that paper could crash and burn. You can look at the 1988 Economist magazine that says that 2018 is when the phoenix dies in the ashes and something else rises. You can look at the status of most major financial institutions who are currently insolvent and are basically cooking the books, playing games to stay relevant. So when we talk about hardships, or when we talk about change coming within the economic system, what we're trying to say is that the world is a debt-based leverage system right now. And if you're in a over-leveraged system that's based on debt, and one of the major institutions that holds a lot of those debt begins to falter or can no longer play the game, then that has far-reaching ripple effects throughout the market. So we're just saying that Deutsche Bank could be the next Lehman Brothers. And just like in 2008, when Lehman Brothers could no longer keep its doors open, it had far-reaching effects. So you say, well, I don't know what the hell you just said, and how does that affect me? Well, what if multiple places in the world become Cyprus, where you feel the victimization of a bail-in and then take a 25% haircut, 30% haircut, or the ATM machine no longer allows you to take money out, and your credit cards don't work when you swipe them. So if that situation happens where the ATM machines and the credit card machines aren't working, how do you eat? What's your plan B? what other forms of exchange do you have that acts as a financial medium or instrument so that you can still participate and eat? There are options that grant you a higher purchase power beyond paper. So if you are closed-minded to the concept of having alternatives outside of paper and outside of debt-based instruments, then you're setting yourself up for trouble if those debt instruments that you're relying on fail. And everyone uses the excuse to say, well, my debt instruments will never fail. Well, just fucking yesterday, my credit card didn't work. And I had to find another way in order to pay for the bill because the machine just didn't fucking work. The guy's like, I don't know, the machine's not working. So only thing he cares about is me paying for the bill. So I go downstairs, I go to the ATM machine, and it works. I take out cash and then pay the bill. But what if the credit card machine declines and then the ATM machine doesn't work? Now what do? So you have to have an alternative means to pay outside of credit and outside of debt-based instruments. Well, you'll say, okay, in the event that those two don't work, then that's when the alternative means become relevant. It becomes relevant to have something else when the two primary means that everyone's are used to no longer works. So it makes a smart financial decision and a responsible decision for your future, for your family, and for your economic safety and well-being and economic survival to diversify outside of paper and have an eclectic portfolio that includes asset classes beyond debt instruments.